fans.
What's the kid's name?
Charles Wilson.
Hey, Charles Wilson, are you fucking high? It enhanced the business. It enhanced the business. No, I don't think it hurt at all. I think it was a good product, and there was an audience out there. There was a market for it.
That's for sure.
So it proved itself. Listen, they're still talking about ECW today. They're still talking about the hardcore matches. They're still talking about Terry Funk and Sabu and the Bob Wire match. They're still talking about guys going through tables and all that stuff.
Quarter of a century later, yes.
Yes. So, no, I don't think it hurt us at all. At all. It enhanced the business, really. And I appreciate the question, but, you know, of course I'm going to stick up for ECW because I was different eye, in a different eye. And then everybody copied us. Look, they just put Shaq through a table in Jacksonville, didn't they? Yes.
There you go.
All right, then shut the fuck up.
No,
I'm kidding, brother. No, that's a good question.
No, you can say it. You can say it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Love you. Love you. Stupid question.
Yeah. Legitimate question. Legitimate.
And by the way, like, you know what, a huge ECW fan. I saw you guys at a high school, for God's sakes, in the late 90s, okay? We weren't smart marks. We were dudes in leather jackets that were looking to smoke a bowl with RVD and Fonzie after the show, and we would watch the show at midnight on MSG. I didn't go on my computer. I didn't type away all day long deciding to break down the product. Dude, that's not how it was, man. That's not how it was.
We were amazing.
ECW was
People had never seen anything like this. They haven't seen a thumbtack match or a Taipei death match with a different. You haven't seen any of that.
Right.
So we didn't invent it, but it just formulated throughout our process of learning how to be hardcore.
Fonzie, do you think that sometimes the hardcore almost gets too much attention? Because quite honestly, there were some great wrestlers who came through those doors in ECW as well.
Everybody came through there.
Thank you.
I mean, it was great.
Thank you.
And everybody fit right in, and everybody loved it, and everybody wanted to go above and beyond duty, brother. Just like I said, I volunteered to go through a table. These guys are, I mean, everybody went through there, and it was great.
So on social media,
revolutionized the business in
absolutely.
A way.
I got to hear the story. I see you on Judge Mathis. I don't know how old this video is, but it got really hot on social media with you and Missy Hyatt. What is the deal with that? Is Missy really like that?
Judge Mathis?
No, it was a shoot. What happened was Missy was dating a guy that managed a strip club, and Missy was beautiful, and she was just built, and she was really hot looking. And she just had bought a brand new white Porsche, and I had a Porsche too at the same time. So, so the guy, Missy's boyfriend, was treating her like a stripper because he's a strip club manager. That's his mentality. So they would break up, and she'd call me up and say, "Fonzie, I broke up with my boyfriend. Would you go have a drink with me? Let's go have some lunch or something." I said, "Sure, Missy." Missy's been a friend of mine since years ago, so we did, and then they'd get back together the next freaking day, and this happened about 3 or 4 times. So, and every time they'd get in a fight, she'd call me to console her, and then they'd get back together, which is all good. So she calls me, the phone rings, I pick it up. "Hey, Fonzie, I broke up with my boyfriend," and she's crying on the phone. She says, "Can we go have lunch?" I said, "Of course, baby." She says, "Well, I'm in your driveway." So I come out, there she is, in a brand new freaking Porsche, not even 1,000 miles on it. And she said, "You drive, Fonzie, because I'm too nervous." So I jump behind the wheel. I know how to drive a Porsche. I have one too, I had a 944, badass. And so I was driving a car, and my phone rings. I'm talking on my phone. I'm trying to console Missy, and bumper-to-bumper traffic. Bam! And I smashed into the car. $10,000 in damage. Boom! Immediately. And I said, "Missy, don't worry. We'll get it taken care of. You got full coverage insurance, and there's only deductible. I'll pay for it. Don't worry." So the next day she calls me and says, hey, my agent said there was a cancellation on Judge Mathis. And we can go on there. They'll give us a talent fee. They'll give us a per diem. They'll fly us up, put us in a 5-star hotel, and we'll do one of the slots. She said, you want to do it? I said, okay. Any publicity is good publicity. And she wasn't mad at me, so we went up there, and you seen the thing was a big spill, and the judge, and the judge liked Missy Hyatt, if you know what I mean. He gave me his business card. He said, hey, Daddy, if you guys want, you can call me later, whatever.
There's people at home eating this shit up alive for real. Go on. Oh, my God.
So we did the episode. It got high ratings. You know how when you walk out after the judge decides the thing, Fonzie, you're guilty because you hit somebody from behind, it's your fault, you got to pay the deductible, but actually they pay for it. And then you go out after you leave the judge, and you walk out and the guy interviews you, say, hey, what do you think about the verdict? What's your opinion on the verdict, Mr. Alfonso? And I said, well, I think it was one-sided because she had 2 big assets that I didn't have. That's why she won. And they aired that. And it was great. If you watch it, it's about 7 minutes long. Look up Missy Hyatt, Bill Alfonso on Judge Mathis, and you'll see the finished product. It was pretty cool, and she's giggly and happy, and the judge loved it, and she was good. We were good for the camera, and we told the show. They have producers said, please, we've had, the judge is not in a good mood. We had 4 episodes already there. They tape 8 episodes a day when they're in season or whatever. And the judges die. I said, hey, we're in the wrestling business. You know, you do your job, I'll do mine. And we did it really well. And it was one of his favorite episodes, Judge Mathis. He wrote it in a whatever. One of my favorite episodes is Fonzie and Missy Hyatt.
There you go. One of my favorite wrestlers from back in the ECW days is the legendary Sandman. You got some stories, some memories of Sandman?
Well, I talk to Sandman all the time. Okay. I talked to him yesterday. I talked to him the day before yesterday. I talked to Todd Gordon all the time. He became one of my best friends. In fact, I was just on a 3-day tour with Super Crazy, Sandman, Fonzie, C.W. Anderson, and then their crew, the CCW crew. And we were just on a 3-day tour, and we had a blast. And Sandman rode with me every day. We hung out, and he's just pretty cool to hang out with. Yeah, I got some stories about Sandman. So we're coming back. We're somewhere in the Northeast. And the only reason I'm telling the story because it's true, and Sandman has told the story himself. So we're coming back from a show. We're driving to the next town. And Raven's driving. Sandman's in the front seat. Little Guido's here, and Fonzie's here. So there's 4 of us in the car. And Raven had got hurt, and they were giving him a real strong opiate for his pain. And Sandman says, hey, give me one of those. And he had been drinking all day, beer, and this and that, and worked and took bumps. He was pretty banged up from the day. And Raven says, no, these are too strong for you, Sandman. I suggest you not take it. And Sandman insisted, so Raven gave him one. So we're driving along, and all of a sudden, Sandman starts going like this. He's sleeping, but he's snoring. He's like gasping for breath. I said, hey, Raven, look at Sandman, Daddy. He's having trouble breathing. He said, he's okay. I said, all right. About 5 minutes later, I said, hey, Raven, his lips are turning blue, Daddy. He's fucking dying, right? He's not getting air. He's not ODing. He just can't breathe because something, whatever the fuck it was. So we call 911. This is a pretty fucking cool story. So we call 911, and we tell her what happened. She said, hey, my wrestling buddy was a wrestling match. He hit his head, so he took a pain medicine. He's having some type of reaction, and he's not breathing. His lips are turning blue. And where are you guys at? We said, well, we're on Interstate 85, headed north. And she says, well, what exit, what mile marker? We said, mile marker 327. She said, well, get off on 328. We're going to have an ambulance meet you guys there. So So it's about 2 miles ahead. So as we pulling off the exit, there's like 10 police cars. The lady, the 911 operator, misinterpreted, thought we were in some type of wrestling, like a street fight or like a big problem. But no, we're in wrestling. It got her in wrestling, pro wrestling with Hulk Hogan. But they didn't know it. They thought we were. So all the cops rushed the car, and then we explained it to him. Hey, he's a wrestler, no big fight, just wrestling. He hit his head. He took a pain pill. So they end up doing the shit, and they take him to the hospital. So, oh my God, this is terrible. So, a couple hours later, here comes Sandman. We're all waiting for him, pacing back and forth. What the fuck's going on with Sandman? Is he dead or is he alive? So here comes Sandman walking out, and they gave him the shot of Narcan and brought him back to life, and all that was okay. And you know what Sandman said? He was mad at us. You know what he said?
What's that?
He said, "Hey, Daddy, you guys ruined my fucking high." Sandman, your lips were fucking turning blue, you fucking idiot. I can call him an idiot because he calls me one, and I love him. And Sandman hates when I'm right. So I hate when you're right, Fonzie. But that's a pretty cool story about Sandman dying and coming back to life and all that.
But you ruined this high.
That was
you have some nerve.
Peak of the story. That was a punchline of the story. After all that, Sandman got mad at us for ruining his high.
Oh my God.